go on to some more important information. This is Russell Wilson, folks. Russell Wilson leaving the Seahawks, being traded from the Seahawks, and being traded to the Denver Broncos. Man, oh man, what a trade. And just real interesting that we got the trade. Once again, I mean, Pete Carroll just said it. When did he say this, folks? We brought it up. We talked about it. I remember going into it. Let me see. Here it is. Here it is, folks. Let me get this in the right spot. Here we go. Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll says, quote, "We have no intention of trading Russell Wilson." This was March 2nd, folks. We talked about this. We read this on the show. "We have no intention of trading Russell Wilson." Once again, going back to what everybody says. Everybody says the words. Aaron Rodgers saying it's categorically false on the contract, but then the contract shows, and then he says it's false. And going back to the NFL, their investigation into Brian Flores, everything, oh, it's categorically false. Categorically false. Of course, none of that happened. He's lying. I don't understand. And once again, the NFL saying, we just don't understand why he keeps lying. Those words, the real words, folks. We don't understand why he keeps saying these lies out there. So once again, you can say one thing and it's absolutely false, but you say it as truth and all that. So once again, we can take people at face value. Yes, we can't always assume everybody's lying. Yes, we live in a society. We cannot assume everybody's lying 100% of the time, constantly, but just take everything you hear and read with a grain of salt and dig and see what their past actions show to their words and all that. This is what we do on the show. We break everything down and hear what everybody's saying, comparing it to what they've already said and their actions and all that. So when we hear the NFL say everything is categorically false, but we have some information already proving it's not categorically false, it's like, okay, can we be a little truthful out here a little bit? Now, I will say that this is what you have to do. This is the game that you have to play as a head coach. Obviously, it's a little bit different from Roger Goodell and the actual NFL because, I mean, it's just a little different scenarios here where, Pete Carroll saying, hey, we have no intention of trading Russell Wilson. This is like a business lie where, Roger Goodell saying everything is categorically false that's just a lie. Business lie is a little different. You have to lie in business. And we definitely, support this lying in business. Once again, if you have a player on your team, you must always kind of back him up regardless if you're going to trade him, if you're going to cut him, let him loose, whatever it is. As long as he is on your team, anything can happen, and you must make sure that player is kind of, comfortable in the locker room, not getting kind of the whirlwind trade rumors in his head. Once again, Brian Flores never really quashing those Deshaun Watson trade rumors. It ruins Tua's confidence and his ability to go out there every down and play to the best of his ability because he's always going to have it in the back of his mind. Oh, they don't want me here. So this is a lie that, I think is a little acceptable in the world of business and sports and all that. Pete Carroll is not going to come out and say, yeah, we're trading Russell Wilson, or yeah, he is, on the trade market and all that, and yeah, we do have intentions of trading him, because if you don't trade him, then Russell Wilson, he's going to be like, well, they don't even want me here anymore. So yes, it is a lie overall. And we'll prove it's a lie because this was March 2nd. The deal went down March 8th, so that's like 6 days where we've got information about 2 weeks ago and all that. So this is a lie. They did have intention of trading Russell Wilson, absolutely 100%. But it is just the lie that you have to tell. Just like I don't know who listens to the show, so we won't go too in depth. But parents, you lie to your children about some things. Yes, a big old holiday. Yes, once again, I don't know the entirety of my audience, so we won't go into that. But you tell lies, and we all tell ourselves that these lies are okay, and I think this is an okay-ish lie a little bit. Because it just, it's a lie. It's not a hurtful lie. It's a lie that just kind of needs to be told so we can all just get the best out of everybody. You don't want, doubt from your face of the franchise quarterback. You don't want that ever. So, and then, the flip side where everybody gets outraged of, oh, you told me, why couldn't you just be honest? You told me I was the guy. Now I'm not the guy. Now I have to go and move and all that. Everybody wants there to be kind of 100% full transparency and everything. I don't know if we can ever get that, but I think this is the acceptable lie here. Once again, it is a business, and everybody loves to kind of throw out, oh, it's a business, so they can cut these players. They just want to be told up front. But at the end of the day, do you want that kind of, oh, they don't really want me, that doubt, that hesitation? You can't have doubt in your mind. I mean, that's what sports are, instinct. And if you have kind of second guesses, oh, they don't really want me here. Oh, well, Pete Carroll just said, I played good. Ooh, I thought I played great. Why didn't you say I played great? Now you're deciphering between good and great and okay and all that, and you're analyzing every single word now because they've already told you, hey, we're going to trade you, but I'm not traded yet, so what's really going on here? So I've got no problem with this type of business lie. I know everybody doesn't agree, but I still see it that way. But yeah, Russell Wilson traded away from the Seahawks to the Denver Broncos, and we do have the compensation. This is the actual compensation. So here we go. The Broncos get Russell Wilson and a 4th-round pick. They kind of like swap 4th and 5th-round picks this season. But the Broncos get Russell Wilson and a 4th-round pick, and they give up 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, a 5th-round pick. That's kind of the swap, the 4th for the 5th. So a 5th-round pick. They also give up Drew Lock, defensive lineman Shelby Harris, in tight end Noah Fant. Now let's break down all the compensation. The 2 first-round picks, I've got no problem trading those. We're getting guaranteed proven talent, especially at the quarterback position. Yeah, that's 2 first-round picks. You're going to spend a first-round pick on a quarterback regardless, right? And now we don't even know if they're good or not. So you're only actually giving up a kind of like 1 more first-round picks because you would use that first-round pick on a quarterback. But we've already gotten proven talent, proven established, winning Super Bowl, winning talent at the quarterback position. Yeah, that's an extra, first-round pick. So the 2 first-round picks I've got no problem with. The 2 second-round picks, yeah, once again, I've got no problem with. Second-round picks, they're trash. If they're not a top 10 pick, they're trash at the end of the day. I trade away all my draft picks, honestly, folks. If you give me control of a team, if it's not a top 10 draft pick, I am not keeping it for the most part. I'm trading it for proven talent. Give me provable talent right now instead of mystery talent, folks. It's like, the classic joke of, would you like a new boat or do you want a mystery box? And in the mystery box, it could be anything. It could even be a boat. So do you want the boat or do you want the mystery box that could be anything, even a boat? You're going to go with the boat. Because what the fuck's going to be in a mystery box? I'm getting guaranteed boat. Give me the boat. Give me the guaranteed boat instead of the chance to potentially maybe get the boat, maybe something better, but a whole lot to get a lot worse. So give me the guaranteed boat. Yes, I'm taking the boat. I'm taking Russell Wilson. I'm taking the guaranteed quarterback. I'm not taking a first-round pick. So 2 first-round picks, absolutely fine. 2 second-round picks, absolutely fine. Quarterback Drew Lock, yeah, throw that man in. I'm glad. Thank you. Thank you. That's actually helping me. I don't got to kind of keep Drew Lock on my roster anymore. I didn't want this man on my team anyway, regardless of what we were doing at quarterback this season. Drew Lock, he's just not the guy. He's not the guy. He's not the guy. He's not the guy. And he's not just guy, folks. The man is, he's nothing really out here. He hasn't improved. He hasn't shown he can improve himself. He's still that gunslinger, inaccurate, high interception, high turnover rate, multiple opportunities in multiple seasons to kind of be the starter, be the guy, show that you've gotten better, and he just hasn't. Now, obviously, he can always get better. Yes, folks, we understand that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, how much more longer do we have to keep an unproven talent? Year 4, year 5, I mean, the Giants are this close to being done with Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones has shown us big-time promise, and they didn't even sign his 5th-year option. You want me to keep around Drew Lock for year number 4 when he hasn't even proven anything to us yet? So yeah, I would throw out Drew Lock. I was gonna throw this man in the dumpster if we didn't trade him anyway. So yeah, thank you for taking him off my hands. Defensive lineman Shelby Harris. Obviously, defense wins championships, so that's a little bit of a big takeaway there. And then I think what maybe the biggest takeaway, the biggest loss in the trade is tight end Noah Fant. Noah Fant was very, very good for the carousel circus that was the Denver Broncos starting quarterback position. So, Noah Fant no longer on the Broncos, and the Seahawks get him. So, Seahawks have a ton to build with in the future, and they've got, DK Metcalf. Do they keep him now, or are they going to blow it all up? This is really going to be, the next step in this trade. The Broncos are all set, really. They've got the squad around them. They've got the offense, the defense, the coach, folks. The coach. Let's remind ourselves what we wrote down on this new Broncos head coach. coach, Nathaniel Hackett. We said right choice, offensive, innovative, genius, run and pass, perfect balance. And what does Russell Wilson do? Dual threat quarterback. So, yeah, give up whatever it takes to get Russell Wilson. So, Nathaniel Hackett, the offensive, innovative genius that we know he is, he's going to get the best out of him. Once again, Pete Carroll, defensive-minded coach, and we just saw Russell Wilson, come out on the scene hot as heck, and then just kind of get a tad worse, a tad less every year after that. Defensive-minded guy, offense struggling the last 2 seasons. That's why Russell Wilson gets traded. Yes, folks. Once again, defensive guys at the head coaching position, I don't think are the right choice. This is example number 758 now, folks. So, Broncos, they're good. They're good to go right now. They've got everything. They're going to be championship contenders, Super Bowl contenders right off the rip here. But this Seahawks team, they've got everything in place to potentially build, for the future. What are they going to do? Which quarterback are they going to get? And that's going to kind of tie into some of the film that we are going to watch. The kind of the highest graded quarterback in this year's draft. We are going to watch his tape as well. I don't know how we're going to watch it. We're getting a little close to the end of the show here, but we'll figure it out as we keep going. But Seahawks can definitely build for the future upcoming here. How much of it do they blow up? Do they get rid of Pete Carroll? Are they truly starting from scratch? Do they keep DK Metcalf? They still got Tyler Lockett. There's still some nice pieces on this team. And then you add Noah Fant to that. So if you keep DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and Noah Fant, I mean, you are kind of just a plug-and-play quarterback away from kind of being still a little competitive. Obviously not as competitive as Russell Wilson, because that offensive line still needs to be shored up, because once again, that is the biggest problem for this Seahawks team. It obviously was never Russell Wilson. We don't think. We are going to investigate that a little bit to see if there's any drop off on Russell Wilson, because that's truly what it's going to determine if this was a winnable trade for the Seahawks. How much good football does Russell Wilson still have left? Once again, came out hot into the scene, but hasn't done anything since like 2015. Once again, Patrick Mahomes, 4-year stretch, great, but just lost in the AFC Championship game. Does he keep falling off the same path that Russell Wilson did? So really, time is going to tell, and that is an unsatisfying answer. I truly get it, but time is truly going to determine whether the Seahawks won this trade or not. Face value right now, I say the Broncos won the trade because they are a plug-and-play quarterback away from being kind of contenders. They've got the offense. They've got the coach. It was never going to be Teddy Bridgewater. It was never going to be Drew Lock to bring this team to what it is capable of doing with all the talent on the team. So, yeah, the Broncos initially absolutely won the trade, getting rid of picks. Who cares about picks? Drew Lock, we don't even like the man. We were going to throw that man in the dumpster regardless. Shelby Harris, Noah Fant, okay, but at the end of the day, they're kind of tier 2s. These are tier 2 in their position, the respective positions, folks. I don't know if these are tier 1, defensive linemen, tight ends, and that's no disrespect to them. But I mean, yeah, tier 2 pieces, a couple of draft picks for Russell Wilson, provable, winnable, Super Bowl winning talent. Yes, give me that now, please. Now, for the specific picks in these draft picks. So, here are the actual picks. The Seahawks get Denver's 2022, this year's draft first round pick, which is pick number 9. Now, this is great because the Seahawks, they did not have a first round pick this season. So, they're like, we can keep Russell Wilson. The offensive line can still struggle, but we really don't have any big way to fix it. Yeah, we can spend in free agency, but I don't think the Seahawks were one of the kind of top free money earners here in cap space. Let me see if I can quickly go back here. We talked about it a few days ago on the show, the cap space. We talked about the 10 highest and the 10 worst, 10 lowest. Let me see where Seattle was kind of at. Because once again, you don't have the kind of draft picks to kind of retool the team where they kind of are good next season. From 2020 to 2021, folks, I mean, it just got worse. We heard, the crumblings in the offseason of 2020 of, hey, Russell Wilson, I want to be traded and all that. And then this season, even worse than last season. So, yeah, you're not going to be able to fix this team with no first-round draft pick. And if you're tight on money against the cap, yeah, you're definitely not going to be able to fix it. So maybe the Seahawks' plan to truly fix everything was to blow it all up, start from scratch. There is a little bit of solid talent in the quarterback market in the draft. We just had the pro days come last week. I think they still went into the weekend. But, this one quarterback was making big old noise, Malik Willis, and he's kind of secured himself as the number one quarterback taken in this draft. So Seahawks are like, hey, we kind of like this quarterback. We can't fix it all here, so let's blow it up and go on him, bet on him. Let's bet on him. Everybody in agreement? All right, here we are, and then they make the trade, and they're going to kind of go with that plan. So here we go. Teams currently over the cap. We got the Saints, the Packers, the Cowboys, Rams, Vikings, Giants, Falcons, Bills, 49ers, Cardinals. All right, team under the cap. Let's go to them. That should be very close as well. Are they under the cap, or are they kind of in the middle of the road here? Scrolling for the tweet. Cannot find the tweet. We talked about it on the same day, so I thought they were right next to each other. All right, well, they're not over the cap. We know this. Are they under the cap? That is going to go unsolved because I'm not going to keep scrolling anymore, and we still got to kind of talk about some more things. So let me drop this. They're not over the cap top 10, but they may be a kind of like middle of the road pack where they don't really have that much flexibility cap space wise, money wise. All right, so Seahawks, whatever their situation is, they decide to blow it all up here, and with that first round pick number 9. Here we go. Teams with the most cap space. We got the Dolphins, the Jags, the Chargers, the Bengals, the Jets, the Broncos, yeah. The Colts, the Seahawks at $34 million. So they do have money to work with. All right. So that's kind of their plan now. Let's get that quarterback at number 9. Let's spend some money here and see if we can build it up here and maybe seeing, Russell Wilson fall off a little bit. And that's going to be part 2. Don't think we're going to be able to get into all the film because there is a lot of film I do want to watch here. So we will do a little bit of a part 2 tomorrow on the Russell Wilson. We are taken care of on the Aaron Rodgers front, but with Russell Wilson, there is more at play here. Is Russell Wilson declining? Once again, we haven't seen him do anything really relevant since 2015. I think he got to another NFC Championship game, but didn't look great, and then that was really it. That's all he's done over the last kind of 6 seasons. So is Russell Wilson falling off? That's going to be coming part 2 tomorrow on the show. We'll watch Malik Willis. Is this a true talent that we can see winning year 1, year 2 in the near future with the Seahawks? Because that is seeming like that is going to happen here. Because we get the Seahawks getting the 9th overall pick now. Jaguars are at 1. They got their quarterback. Lions at number 2. That could be big time interesting. We heard from the general manager, hey, we got to see Jared Goff improve. So do they take a shot? Were they impressed with Malik Willis? So Lions could potentially take a quarterback. Texans at number 3. Are they sticking with Davis Mills? I think so, but we have Lovie Smith, so he may go his own route. I don't think so. So I think the Lions could take a quarterback. The Texans, they could. Let's just mark them for a could. Jets, they got their guy. Giants, they've got, Daniel Jones, and they're going to believe in him for at least this season, and maybe Mitch Trubisky. I don't see them going quarterback-wise, number 5. The Carolina Panthers, they are in the market for a quarterback, and they said they're going to leave no stone unturned. So that's another team that could take a quarterback. The Giants have another. Oh, my God, they got 2 top 10 picks. Holy cow. They got a pick at number 7. Falcons, they seem like they're comfortable with Matt Ryan, and then the Broncos choose at number 9. So there are some teams that could take a quarterback from the Seahawks. Broncos are at number 9, but they get that number 9 pick. They give that number 9 pick to the Seahawks. So there are a few teams that could take a quarterback before the Seahawks can at number 9. Nobody's really kind of expecting that, though. All the big boards I've seen, it's all kind of linemen and all that. So the Broncos could be getting Malik Willis at number 9. So is that going to be a serviceable option? Once again, that's going to play into who actually won the trade. So there is some film to watch. Is Russell Wilson falling, kind of trending downwards? Is this the right moment to get rid of Russell Wilson? Because we see his overall production start declining over the last few years. So I want to watch the film. film. I want to watch some tape on Russell Wilson on what he did this season compared to what he did in his Super Bowl winning season. Are we still seeing the same exact things? Has this man fallen down a little bit? Has this man gotten better? So I want to see that. Once again, that's going to play in who won the trade. If you trade Russell Wilson at his kind of peak right before he falls off a cliff, then yeah, of course the Seahawks would win the trade. If these draft picks pan out with Malik Willis as their starting quarterback, then yeah, maybe the Seahawks did win the trade, because this is still a hard division, folks. This is not a home run hitter with Russell Wilson here now that he's with the Denver Broncos. Because have you seen the quarterbacks here? Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Derek Carr. And that begs the question here. Everyone's talking about this. Who is the, rank these quarterbacks 1 through 4 of the starting quarterbacks of the AFC West. So I would say Patrick Mahomes is number 1 here, folks. He's kind of prime Russell Wilson. He's still kind of in the prime Russell Wilson, folks. Once again, you have to remember how everybody was talking about Russell Wilson, folks. They talked about Russell Wilson the same exact way they're talking about Patrick Mahomes right now. And we've seen both these quarterbacks do the same thing, winning and getting to multiple Super Bowls in their first 4 years, and then kind of go ghost mode over the last, 6 years, like Russell Wilson. Patrick Mahomes in the midst of, kind of being in that kind of 6-year skid of not doing anything relevant in the Super Bowl or anything like that. So I think I get Patrick Mahomes 1. We'll have to see with the film, but I'm going to say that Russell Wilson, what I remember of Russell Wilson is kind of number 2, Justin Herbert number 3, and then that's just unfortunate Derek Carr number 4, but really why he's only number 4, the stats are not why he's number 4, but kind of we haven't seen what he has been able to do in the playoffs. Same thing with Justin Herbert. I haven't really seen him be good in the playoffs here. So that's why I put Patrick Mahomes 1, Russell Wilson 2, Justin Herbert 3, Derek Carr 4. Justin Herbert a little bit more upside because he is a little bit younger than Derek Carr. Derek Carr getting into the playoff game, a little bit. So it's tough, folks, but I would put it at Patrick Mahomes 1, Russell Wilson 2, Justin Herbert 3, and Derek Carr 4, and that's tough. And after we watch the film, how do we reorder these? Do we have Justin Herbert over Russell Wilson? Do we have Derek Carr over Russell Wilson? Do we have Russell Wilson at number 1 over Patrick Mahomes? So we will get to film tomorrow. Couldn't squeeze it into today's show. Unfortunate. We tried, folks. We truly tried our best. And then the last thing I want to mention right here before we wrap it up for today, part 1 of the Russell Wilson trade, just the information. This is part 1, the information. The information, laying down the information. Part 2, we'll investigate some film here. And that's coming tomorrow, folks, so you don't have to wait that long. But the last thing I want to kind of point here, once again, we called Pete Carroll a liar. He lied. There was a business lie. We understand it. But this is why, because that was March 2nd. Deal went down March 8th. That's a week at most, if you want to call it a week. And then we get this tweet here by Adam Schefter. Denver acquiring Russell Wilson has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers' decision to return to Green Bay. Yes, it does, but let's continue with the quote, the tweet. Denver general manager George Patton initiated trade talks with Seattle for Wilson at least 2 weeks ago. So at least 2 weeks ago, they initiated the trade. So yes, Pete Carroll, you did have intentions of trading Russell Wilson. It was 2 weeks ago. That quote came out last week. So you had a full week of planning of trading Russell Wilson. And of course, that had to do something with Aaron Rodgers because it came out right after. Aaron Rodgers stays in Green Bay, and then they announced the trade for Russell Wilson because, of course, you are going to facilitate the trade for Aaron Rodgers. Even if Russell Wilson isn't going to be, surefire, good to go, you're going to play the field. You're going to have all your options available. You don't go after one guy and be like, well, Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson, we may be able to get one of these quarterbacks. So who do we try for? All right, let's go for Aaron Rodgers. You don't go for one. You do both. You send the feelers out to both. Aaron Rodgers, he was still playing the game. We didn't know Aaron Rodgers was staying in Green Bay till yesterday. Till yesterday, folks. It was Aaron Rodgers. The last thing we heard was, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. A decision is coming soon, but I don't know what I'm doing. So, of course, the Broncos would be asking about Aaron Rodgers in a trade scenario. Yes, they're still looking at Russell Wilson because they feel like they can get both. But, yeah, they're going to be having their feelers out on both. So, yes, the decision did have a little bit of an impact with Aaron Rodgers. Because if Aaron Rodgers is still available, do we take Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson? That's the debate to be had. And I think it's tough, folks, but we have to really watch the film on Russell Wilson, because if I see a little bit of a decline on Russell Wilson over the last few seasons, yeah, I'm taking Aaron Rodgers. Get him in the AFC with all this talent. Yeah, I'm taking Aaron Rodgers. I know he's the headache and he's the Riddler and all that. We get it. But at the end of the day, Russell Wilson, shorter quarterback. We've got these kind of, shorter quarterbacks that we're starting to kind of see, we got to stay away from them. So, yeah, I think I'd just take Aaron Rodgers. So, I just think the fact that Adam Schefter would say Denver acquiring Russell Wilson has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers' decision to return to Green Bay, I think it has everything to do with Rodgers' decision to return to Green Bay. Because I think if the Broncos had their choice of Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, they go with Aaron Rodgers. I think that is the case. Obviously, we'll never know, but that is what I am presuming to be true because I've seen information. So, all right. But I think that's where we are going to leave it, folks. Two big face of the franchise, top 10 potentially and greatest of all time, making big-time major shake-up the NFL decisions just in one day, folks. It was absolutely crazy, and kind of in the same 3-hour window. So it was really, truly crazy yesterday, and unfortunately, all of it happened after our show. Classic. Alrighty, so that is going to do it for us today, folks. Part 1 of the quarterback talk. We're getting into more Russell Wilson tomorrow on the show. We're digging deep into the film. We'll do another NBA Daily 10, get that out of the way, and focus on the film. And I love it that we get to watch a little bit of quarterback draft prospect. Our first draft prospect watch breakdown of the season. Cannot wait for that. So, all that is coming tomorrow, folks. Once again, we don't have to get it all out in one day. You know, if we don't get it in one day, we've got time to talk about things. We like to investigate. We don't just like to, here's one stat. We'll go with this stat. Yeah, he's good. I want to see the full body of work, folks. That's what we do here on the show. Alrighty, folks, but that's going to do it for us today. Doesn't seem like anything is breaking. No more wild quarterback news, so we can get out of here. Now we get, Jordan Love. Jordan Love's going to be leaving the Packers. They have to get rid of him. So where does he go? Who gets him? All of that. So a lot more to this, folks, that we will have to get to tomorrow. We get to hear from Russell Wilson. He says he's, quote, forever grateful to Seattle following the trade, so we'll hear from Russell Wilson. Folks, there's more stuff to talk about tomorrow. We just cannot fit it into today's show. But we are back live to noon Eastern tomorrow. Live noon Eastern tomorrow, twitch.tv/takesbyfans to hopefully settle it up. And if not, then we go to part 3 on Friday. That's what it will be, folks. So we're talking quarterbacks, folks. The offseason, folks. It's interesting. And this is what we were trying to avoid, getting all of our final thoughts out on every single team before the craziness happened. Doesn't seem like it's turning out that way, but we must roll with the flow here. So I don't know if we're getting any more NFL final thoughts. We did 4 teams. Is that going to be good enough? It may have to be. So, talking Russell Wilson, film, second year, Super Bowl winning year, last year. How's that looking? Looking at Malik Willis, film. How's he looking in his pro day? How do you look in the, did he get to Pro Bowls? Winning Pro Bowls. We count Pro Bowls big time. We'll see how he did in all that. So all that's coming tomorrow on the show. It's going to be a great one, just like today.